Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. So today we're going to be can't even speak. We're going to be going over the preseason changes. Now, the new items, mainly the new items, but there's of course more changes down the road which we'll talk about. But all the new items, guys, I have them right here, ready to go, giving you the changes, giving you all the stats, the info, the details, the deets that you want to know. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. Hey guys, so this video is going to be sponsored by Eternal Return. Eternal Return is a free new game made with a mix of MOBA-style combat, battle royale matches, and survival game-like item crafting. And it's available on Steam and also the Microsoft Store. There are no pay-to-win mechanics whatsoever or systems in this game, which is amazing. So make sure you check it out using the link down below. So here you can see some gameplay of me actually playing it myself, right? And you can see you run around, you kill a bunch of mobs, you get experience, you level up similar to MOBA style gameplay, you loot mobs, you loot just objects all around you, you create better gear, and essentially level up like that. And of course, you'll run into other players, which you have to beat them, right? So make sure you're geared up and you found enough loot so you can take them on. And obviously, eventually, if you kill them, you can loot their bodies as well. And the cool thing about this game is that there's an insane amount of different characters that you can play, all with their own unique playstyles. So with all that being said and done, guys, highly recommend checking this game out, especially considering it's literally free on Steam and Microsoft Store. So make sure you check it out using the link below. Let's jump right into it. So these are the icons, and for the dragons and stuff, which we'll go over after. First, let's actually take a look at the deets themselves. So embargo, ooh, at 8 a.m. PST. Anyway, so items. Divine Crown Guard is going to be the first one. This is going to be, of course, that AP item. So you get, of course, 60 AP, 250 health, 600 mana, and 20 ability haste. So you pretty much get everything you want. You get damage, mana cost for obviously, using spells, a little bit of HP, not a lot, but still a decent amount. Nice solid 20 ability haste, which is fantastic, of course. And this is the one that you saw in the video where you get that safeguarded thing, right? So you take a lot less damage, where Talon was trying to kill like Syndra or Orianna or something. Anyway, so you're safeguarded, reducing incoming damage by 50%. Safeguard persists for 1.5 seconds after taking champion damage. So essentially, it's like almost like a Banshee's Veil, but instead of fully blocking a spell, it just fully blocks the damage. Kind of like a Banshee's Veil and Annie's E mixed-ish, if that makes sense. Pretty powerful stuff, actually. It's just pretty much just anti-assassin, because assassins want to just do that damage. Just when they get on you, they want to just do it. So for instance, if you're facing a Rengar, I think this is like a huge counter to Rengar especially. Because if you're facing Rengar, I mean, he pretty much just has to go all in and do his damage like as fast as humanly possible. He's probably the most like, I need to do this damage literally right now or I'm dead kind of champion or assassin. Huge counter to him. You pretty much block half of his damage, which is insane. While safeguarded, you also get AP, so which obviously is pretty ridiculous. So up to 30 AP. I mean, as if that's, as if the item wasn't great enough. Why not just get more AP? And you regain safeguard if you haven't taken damage for 40 seconds. Again, similar to Banshee's Veil. And you get a mythic passive where you get 1% movement speed and 50 health for every legendary item you build from then on forth, which of course is pretty damn sick. Then we have something called Lunari Vestments. Also, of course, a mythic item. So this is, I believe, the support mythic item. 200 health, 20 ability haste, 30 armor and 30 MR. So, not anything too crazy in one specific stat, but very nice, well-rounded. Repentance after immobilizing champions or being immobilized. So let's say you're playing Leona, one of the best examples in my opinion. So if you E on someone, aka immobilizing a champion, or if someone immobilizes you, cause that target and all nearby enemies to repent. I'm not sure how big the AoE is, that's the question, but cause them to repent, increasing the damage they take by 12% for 5 seconds. Mythic passive, all other legendary items gain 5 armor and magic resistance. So very selfish support item. Now, this is, I think, a insane item. Think of it as, again, Leona, you engage, or Alistair, whatever. You engage, you immobilize that person, everyone around them including them, take 12% extra damage for 5 seconds. Your team just initiates off that engage. It's like Vladimir ult in a way. You know what I mean? Kind of. Just increasing the damage your team essentially deals to potentially the whole enemy team by 12%. That's a lot of extra damage. That's insane. Honestly, I think this is a pretty broken item. I really hope that this isn't going to be as broken as it sounds. I hope that maybe it just sounds broken on paper, but not as much when you actually play it. Anyway, moving on. Frostfire Gauntlet, 350 health. Decent amount of health there. A little bit of MR, a little bit of armor, and 20 ability haste. So a little bit less resistance than this one here, but you get extra health. So kind of, makes up for that in my opinion. And then you get, of course, immolate. Taking or dealing damage causes you, this is, by the way, a little bit of a rework. Taking damage causes you to begin dealing that, immolate damage at 12 plus 1% bonus magic damage per second to nearby enemies, increased, whatever. Same more or less effect as like Sunfire and things like that. This is interesting. So Snowbind, right? So attacks create a frost field for 1.5 seconds and deal magic damage to all enemies in the area, and enemies that move across the field are slowed. And all other legendary items now give you extra health and 6% size, right? So a little bit of a mini rework to the Frostfire Gauntlet there. Then you have Turbo Chem Tank, also small little changes here. So you get, of course, the same amount of health, pretty much the same stats entirely. Active, of course, you get that extra movement speed to enemy champions or turrets for 4 seconds. And once you're near an enemy or after 4 seconds, you emit that shockwave, which slows. Which we're pretty, familiar with already. Refuel, moving and dealing damage, charges up stacks of Contagion. At 100 stacks, your next basic attack deals magic damage to all nearby enemies. Now, I'm pretty sure that's the new effect, which is pretty sick. Pretty powerful too, actually. So on someone like Singe, maybe, right? Sounds pretty sick. And Mythic Passive, of course, 5 ability haste and 50 health to all other legendary items. And then we have the legendary items themselves, right? So things like Winter's Approach. Fat amount of health, fat amount of mana, and 15 ability haste. So just like a straight mana thing, no resistances whatsoever. Gain bonus health equal to 8% mana. So this is almost like a tank version of like Archangel or Mana Immune. Mana Charge. Strike a target. Strike King, I think he meant to say. A target with an ability or attack consumes a charge, and you gain 3 bonus mana. Doubled if the target is a champion, grants a maximum of 360 mana, at which point it transforms into this. So again, it's literally a tank's version of Mirror Mana or Archangel / Seraphs. And then you get, of course, same HP, quite a bit of extra mana, same ability haste, same. And now you get this odd thing where you get the bonus health equal to 8% mana, so it's the same. But now, instead, you get Everlasting. So immobilizing or slowing in melee only, an enemy champion consumes 3% of your current mana and grants a shield for 3 seconds, absorbing damage. The shield is increased by 80% if more than one enemy is nearby. So mobilizing or slowing. So it could be good on a lot of top lane champions. Again, could be a decent one for Singe, maybe like an Ornn, maybe like a Poppy, some maybe Scion, I don't know. Some kind of champion that just wants to just go in, has a lot of mana casts or a spell cast that they want to just keep throwing out nonstop. And this is a great engage because you just dash in there with like your some ability or your Scion's ultimate or whatever, immobilize someone, you get the shield, you absorb damage, and you just become super, super tanky with this really sick like kind of engage as well. So it's like really powerful in that sense. Then we have Catalic Kopesh. What is it? I don't know what's up with that name, but okay. So you get, this is the lethality item, the legendary, the new one. Pretty broken on Zed. 55 attack damage, 10 lethality, 25 ability haste actually, which is pretty generous, right? Most of the other ones have been 20 max. This is a solid 25, which is a lot. Refresh. Whenever a champion dies within 3 seconds of having damaged them, so essentially, when you get a takedown, refund 25% of your ultimate's ability cooldown, and Riot did tell us that that is 25% of the max cooldown, not the current cooldown. So essentially, getting 4 like really fast kills in a row, for instance, let's say one after the other, your ultimate's back off cooldown. Pretty much. That's the easiest way to think about it. Very powerful on someone like Zed. You can get several ults. Combine that with Ultimate Hunter, you can get some insane ults in a team fight, like maybe even 2, maybe even 3 if you're lucky somehow. The point is it's a pretty powerful ultimate on assassins that rely on their ultimate. Again, Zed, maybe Kiana, things like that. And then you get Ravenous, Shadow Flame, 80 ability power, 250 health. Damage, this is interesting. Damage to champions benefits from 10 to 20, which scales on level. 10 to 20 magic penetration based on the target's current health. Max value at 1,000 or less health. So the weaker they are, the more magic penetration it seems to be doing. Gain the max penetration if the target was recently affected by shields. So this is almost kind of like the AP mage version of Serpent's Fang, right? Very similar version of that, but now AP carries have that as well. Actually pretty decent item in my opinion. I think this one will be quite interesting to see how it goes. I'm not sure if the 10 to 20 is enough. I think it is probably, but pretty powerful item overall in my opinion. So pretty spicy stuff. The new Cosmic Drive, many changes there, right? So you get, let's look at the AP. You get the movement speed now. I don't think it does that at the moment, or it does that as a passive instead of just like a straight stats. 30 ability haste, of course. And of course, after damaging a champion with 3 separate attacks, this is the new part, you get the 30% movement speed. So now you get 35 total, decaying to 15%, and 5 ability every second for a max of 20 AP until leaving combat. So in my opinion, it's a nerf. I think the current Cosmic Drive is severely broken. I think it's insanely underrated. I think it's an overall slight nerf, but That's my opinion. Anyway, Horizon Focus, very similar item still, right? Gives you a shit ton of AP. Health now, I don't think it gives health currently, but correct me if I'm wrong. The main thing you get it for is the AP, but now it's a little bit of a different effect. Now also includes a slow to trigger Horizon Focus. Rylai's Crystal Scepter also works. No longer does that increase in damage when you hit them from like far away or CC them or something like that. So that's changed. Demonic Embrace, 60 AP, 450 health. Dealing ability damage burns enemies for 2/1.2% max health. Max health magic damage every second for 4 seconds, and you convert 2% of your bonus health into ability powers. This is kind of like a Vladimir item, right? Very powerful, kind of tanky AP-ish type item. Again, Vladimir is the first thing that comes to my mind when I read this item. Sarah's Embrace, little mini rework here. 80 ability power, mana, health, of course. Now you get the ability Haste equal to 1.3% of your bonus mana, which I think is actually quite decent. And you restore health equal to 40% of the mana spent up to, so if you're level 18, I'm assuming, 50 plus 10% of your ability power per cast. So if you're like a Cassiopeia or something like that, this one sounds really, really, really broken on Cassiopeia. Super broken. And then, of course, we have Force of Nature, right? Get a nice amount of health. 70 magic resist, by the way. Pretty, that's a lot. Let's just say that. That's a decent amount. Now, you get no armor, of course, but this is just like, man, if they just have like full AP, man, this is just the item to get. This is like insane. Absorb. Taking magic damage from enemy champions grants a stack of steadfast, whatever, maximum 6. And then enemy immobilizing effects also grant an additional 2 stacks. While at 6 stacks, you take 20% reduced magic damage and 10% increased movement speed. I honestly think this item, the first time I saw it in the rider presentation thingy, sounds broken in my opinion. It's just it's such an anti-AP item. It's insane. Like, it's crazy. 70 MR. And then you take 20% reduced magic, like, bruh. Knight's Vow, of course, the support item, slight changes here. You know, still get the health, right? The ability haste, the health regeneration. He still doesn't get an ally who is worth, I think it's supposed to say worthy, but while your worthy ally is nearby, redirect 10% of the damage they take to you and heal for 8% of the damage dealt by your worthy ally to champions. This wording is so messed up. Anyway, you get what it says. If they have less than 30% health, the damage reduction is increased to 20%. Actually, a really powerful item in my opinion. I think this is going to be quite powerful, so watch out for that. And Abyssal Mask, 400 health, 30 MR, 10 ability haste, unmake, curse nearby enemy champions, reducing their magic resistance. For each cursed enemy, gain 7 magic resistance, which is also quite actually sick in my opinion. If your team is too heavy on magic damage and then you want to reduce everyone's magic resist, pretty sick. And then we have some small changes coming over to the runes. So lethal tempo, you gain attack speed for 7 seconds when striking at least one enemy champion with an attack. This effect stacks. So kind of similar, but it doesn't have that little, you attack, wait, and then you get the boost, movement speed, or attack speed boost. This one, you just kind of get it. And then while this effect is at its cap, you also get an increase in attack range and increase your attack speed even more so. So still similar, but slightly different as well, especially with the attack range effect. Glacial Augment now essentially very similar, but now you fire 3 Glacial Rays and essentially just much heavier on the slow aspect of it. And First Strike, this is going to replace the Kleptomancy, I believe what it is now. Damaging an enemy champion with an attack or ability before they do. Not Kleptomancy, the rune that changes your summoner spell randomly. This is supposed to be like the new Klepto. Anyway, so if you hit them first essentially with an ability or attack, before they hit you, you get 5 gold, you get First Strike, which means for 3 seconds, you cause your attacks and abilities to deal 12% extra damage against champions, and you grant 100% of that damage dealt as gold. I don't know if these numbers are final. I mean, this sounds ridiculous in my opinion, but I think it's 100% of the 12 damage. Not 100% of the damage you deal, 100% of the 12% damage. So whatever that 12% damage ends up being, that becomes gold essentially, is what it sounds like. A little bit less for range. Sounds fucking insane, I'll be completely honest. This item sounds, or rune rather, Keystone sounds nuts. So keep that in mind, guys. So this is, by the way, how all the icons look like, in case you're wondering. This is the Winter's Approach. This is Shadow Flame. This is going to be the Lunari Vestments. Fimbulwinter, of course, that we saw. Cataclysmic Kopesh. This is that assassin item, right? We have the Hex Dragon, which is what that looks like here. The little icons there. By the way, this is the Hex Dragon. Remember the Hextech one that spawns and you get those portals across the map? Well, this is how it looks like. You can take a portal, it takes you from base into the jungle, or you can take these back and forth. There is a cooldown though, so if you take it, they did say that I think there's like some seconds cooldown. I forgot how many, maybe 10, something like that, before you can take it back again. So keep that in mind. So you can't just spam it. This is how it looks like. This is going to be the Crown of the Shattered Queen. This is the Chemtech Dragon, of course, right? And this is where those little camouflage things in the map spawn, pretty much around the buffs. of each camp-ish around that general area, which looks pretty sick. I think it looks cool as hell in game. I love the wall. The design around the wall looks amazing. And yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. There you have it. Some preseason changes there so far. All the changes to the new items, to the runes. I will make videos, of course, of the gameplay of these things, some gameplay of the new assassin item, and all that good stuff. So I will have a bunch of stuff coming out for preseason stuff from the PPE server, guys. So make sure you're ready, followed, subscribed, whatever, notifications turned on. Get ready. There's stuff coming out very soon for you guys. Hope you're excited. If you are, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.